Hey, it's that time of the month again where I do a Q&A. It's not that time of the month. I can't actually wait to do this Q&A because it's going to be a fun one. Also want to first start off with asking you a question. Yay or nay on the gameplay split screen? The reason I started doing that was because I thought it was a cool creative way of making content. I also saw a lot of TikToks where people were sharing, some gameplay along with talking about a subject, and I really liked those videos and I thought they were really cool, so I thought I'd do a YouTube version of that. But let me know if it's not really your cup of tea. Cup of tea diddly doo. Sorry, I'm in a goofy mood today. One of the big questions I got was, of course, what's my game of the year? And I already kind of answered this in my other Q&A, but I'm going to switch on what I think the Game Awards game of the year will be. And I think it's going to be Baldur's Gate 3. That game is so freaking fantastic. It's the pinnacle of video games. It's freaking D&D, a video game that they freaking hit right out of the park. D&D this year has had a stellar year. Not to mention that cookbook that I talked about last video, but the D&D movie was so freaking fantastic. And of course, I'm a Pine Nut, so yay Chris Pine. Just knocked it out of the park. Everyone who worked on that was obviously a D&D fan to the core, and really just all the Easter eggs and all the cool things they did to really make it feel adventurous and like a movie that's just super immersed in the D&D world and the culture. I just freaking love that movie. I don't know how I switched from talking about a video game to a movie, but here we are. One of the questions I got was, what do you think you would be doing if you weren't doing this? I've had a different answer to this question. It's changed over the years. At first it was I would have been an accountant because I really liked math and I was good at it. Then I thought that sounds very boring and not a lot of fun, but could probably make a good chunk of change if I did pursue that path. For a long time, I thought I could be a singer-songwriter. That's kind of what I ended up doing in college. Was I studied music. Also zoologist. I wanted to take care of animals at zoos. I wouldn't want to be a vet only because I think the amount of pain and suffering of animals, my heart can't take that. I wanted to be around animals and to learn about all the different animals that exist throughout the planet. Now it's changed to environmental scientist. I would probably want to go into the sciences and study about our world, just to have a better understanding and to really help advocate for the environment as well. I think that would be something that I would have pursued, if not video games. And I think besides that, I did have, this was a brief moment in college. I did think about pursuing acting, moving to New York or Toronto to really hone in on my craft. And once I got my job at IGN, that all went out the window because I was moving to freaking California, which was a place I'd never thought I would ever live, because Canada and New York were as close to that world as I could get that I thought in my head. I didn't think California, that was like a pie in the sky, impossible dream. But then I got it, so I kind of went with that. And of course, loved video games and loved hosting and loved being a personality and talking about the things that I love. Sorry, this is a long-winded answer to your question, but I've always had a passion for organizing. I think I'm really good at it, so maybe starting my own home organizing business or business organizing business or industry organizing business. I guess at the end of the day, I always wanted to help fix things. That's always been a separate part of me that I haven't really talked about or exposed much in my content, but I've always wanted to help fix things. Then I got a question about how often do I visit Canada and would I ever move back to Canada permanently? This past year I've gone to Canada maybe 4 times, maybe 5 times. I've been to Canada quite a few times this year. In my last video about things I've been going through, I really did talk about how I prioritize family, so I've been going back a lot. I have no family in California besides my husband's family. So yeah, I've really made it a priority to spend as much time with them as possible because I really did branch out, moved out here, and didn't really have a plan about ever going back to Canada. I never thought that would be a thing I would ever entertain. As I've established myself here in California. I have a house, I have a husband, I have a dog, and eventually I want to start having kids. So that's something that I've really thought about heavily lately because I do want my family to somewhat be involved in my life beyond what it has been, which used to be visiting Canada only twice a year. I would go in the summertime and I would go in the wintertime for a long stay for like 2 weeks. But now it's become more important to me to have family around, and I've grown a lot since then, and I've had a chance to get closer to my family and really repair a lot of the I think familial, dynamics that I think weren't working for a while. And now that they've come to a really nice place and it's grown, dream scenario would be to live there 6 months out of the year and live here 6 months out of the year. Or at least have a place up there. And I am looking to purchase a condo with my sister to have a place to stay when I am up there, where I can stay perhaps longer than I have in the past, which has been at most 2 to 3 weeks. So yeah, I don't know. It would have to be, I think, to move out there permanently, I would have to land a position that I thought was worth it. Maybe I get an acting job on the set of a show or something, and it shoots up there. Even if it was Toronto, it's pretty easy and cheap to get flights back and forth between Quebec and Toronto, so that would be something that I would be willing to do, and even Vancouver. But given my situation now where I work from home primarily and I have gigs here and there, I would consider doing half and half. There was actually another question about whether or not I plan on having kids, and the answer is yes. And let me know if you want me to elaborate on that, but it's pretty straightforward. Yeah, I want to have kids. What future project am I most excited about? I did touch on this on my plans for the future video that I just posted last week, but I think the one I'm most excited about is the one I can't tell you much about. But besides that, I am very excited for the radio show. I'm very excited for what next year will bring. I'm very excited for, I don't know if I should share this, but I have been working on some music. Very excited for the stuff I'm working on with that. Let's just do all the things in this short life that we have on Earth. Shall we? Yes? Question from someone here. What do you enjoy doing when you're not gaming or exercising? I like hanging out with friends. A lot of my friends that I've made recently are all based in LA, and they invite me out to stuff, and I really enjoy going out and doing random things with them, whether that's going to Pilates class or hiking. I once went out with a friend to just trampoline jump, which was really fun. Or I like to go out and get dinners or hang out at a coffee shop and do some creative writing. I also like going outside in my backyard and swimming in my pool or my jacuzzi, or playing with Odie in the backyard. That's been really fun. I like watching movies, TV shows, listening to music, making music, drawing, painting, reading. What is something I like about Canada but not the US? A lot of Canada questions. Really, when it comes down to it, the thing I like most about Canada is free healthcare. I would really love that here. That's the thing that I like most about Canada versus the US. And obviously my family being there. That goes without saying. Would you ever work for a news site ever again? Yes, I would, absolutely. I'm actually talking with a video game media house. Rather, it's a company that owns a lot of video game media sites and properties. Something might become of it. We have yet to see. It's just a conversation at this point. I guess in a sense, I'm working with iHeart, which, they don't do news, but they do have a lot of broadcast channels that do news. So in a sense, that is kind of me working with a news site again. But I would say, in terms of the gaming space, and specifically to video game properties, video game media houses, I would definitely do it. Yeah, without a doubt. Ooh, this one's good. Which is your favorite, Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild? That's a tough one to answer because I'm having so much fun with Tears of the Kingdom right now. I mean, Breath of the Wild is one of the top games of all time, so it has to be that one. But I'm also enjoying the heck out of Tears of the Kingdom because it's Breath of the Wild. It's just more fleshed out and bigger, and if Tears of the Kingdom had come out and it was the one that was titled Breath of the Wild, I think people would have loved it just as equally. Yeah, in my heart, I want to say that literally you can't separate the two. It's just all good. It's all good. Someone asked if we can get an extreme close-up photo of Odin. Why do you want that? But yes, absolutely. I love taking photos of my dog. What's your favorite exercise routine or an exercise that I enjoy doing? I really like hiking and I like swimming. That's a really roundabout question. I think in terms of like my actual routine, my exercise routine that I do 3 times a week without fail, I really like doing deadlifts. I really like doing anything to do with the chest and back, upper back. Anything to do with the arms as well. Like I love getting my triceps to burn. Like right now they're burning because I did triceps yesterday. I did these ones when they go like this. One that might surprise folks is I really like doing the ropes. You know, I have those battle ropes in my gym, so I like doing those because I feel really cool. I do it for about a minute consistently and just try to go as hard and as fast as I can. And I feel really cool doing that, and I feel strong and I feel like a warrior. I think that might actually be my favorite exercise that I do. Top 5 films of the year, that was another question I received. I mostly watched a lot of the big superhero movies this year. I don't know that I saw that many standalone movies. I wish I had, but I was watching a lot of shows. I really, really enjoyed Loki. I don't know, is Loki my favorite Marvel show? It might be my favorite Marvel TV show. After that, WandaVision is my other favorite one. Those are just excellent, excellent quality TV shows, regardless of if they're Marvel or not. Lots of movies that I could mention in the top 5. So to choose 5 is really hard because I think this year actually was really good for movies. Barbie movie, Oppenheimer, just those 2 alone. Those are instantly in my top 5. I'd have to go with the D&D movie, Among Thieves. So good, hilarious. I've rewatched it twice already. I really loved the Super Mario Brothers movie. I thought it was amazing. I thought the criticism, just forget it. It was perfect. Okay, it's gonna be hard to pick, but like Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and the Marvels, they're like a combo. Those fit in the number 5 spot. And it's my answer to the question, so I can do that. So it's actually 6 movies, but there's still movies that haven't come out yet that I really am curious to see. For example, I still haven't seen Past Lives, but I hear that one's a doozy and it really hits you in the feels. And I love those types of movies, so whenever I watch that, hopefully that goes into there. I mean, I might actually need a top 10 list because fitting it into 5 this year, really difficult. I've also heard really good things about The Creator. I've been recommended by a couple friends now to watch that one. I still haven't seen it, so that's on my list. And Poor Things. I really love the cast of Poor Things. I think it's such a fun and weird concept, and I'm very curious to see how it is. You know, it's a different, there's not much that I know about it. I can't say I know much about what the movie is, but I've seen little clips here and there and it looks interesting to me. So I'm definitely gonna watch that one before the end of the year. Okay, so hopefully that answers your questions for November. I love making these Q&As, so if you do have another question, drop it in the comments below. I make a list of them and I try to include them at some point in any of these Q&As. Thanks as always for those who did ask questions and asked some really good ones. So yeah, have a good one. I'll see you in the next video. I look forward to some cool holiday content. All right, bye. Quantum Meteor. Ooh, okay. I did touch on this on my talking about future plans, secret future plans, bloop, 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 boop.